Cowabunga!
Hi guys, I'm Genesis Moss, and this is my review of the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Raphael action figure. Now before I go into talking about the figure, I want to go ahead and give you guys a brief history of the character. Raphael started off in 1984 in the Mirage comics. He was your rude, average New Yorker that's stereotypically seen in films and television. And he's pretty much stayed the same throughout all the different versions, from the 1988 cartoon where he was the cool but rude guy, much softer in that cartoon, but still the rude character. Then in the 1990 live action movie, he was basically the exact same character he was in the Mirage comics, and basically the exact same character again in the 2003 cartoon. In the 2007 computer animated movie, Raphael once again returns as basically the same character he's been since the Mirage comics. He is not the soft character he was in '88. In fact, he is more of a loner. He goes off and is his own superhero persona. He calls himself the Night Watcher, and he's going out fighting crime on his own and doing his own thing, and that's pretty much just who Raphael is. Now, in the new Nickelodeon cartoon, we have yet to see much of his personality, but I'm going to guess that it's very much the same just based off of some of the trailers that I have seen. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the figure. Raphael comes on the standard Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles blister card with the yellow and green background with the New York cityscape and the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo at the top of the package. I really like this packaging. It just seems to pop off the store shelf for me. And on the back of the package at the top features the Nickelodeon logo again, with a new bio for Raphael and a selection of other characters available in the line. Out of the package, Raphael looks amazing. One thing I want to go ahead and say about these turtles is they all have different sculpts. They're all brand new, fully tooled action figures, and they look great. I love just this mean, grimacing look on Raphael's face. He's gritting his teeth, and he just looks fantastic. I love the texture on his neck, the texture on the shell, the skin. That crack in the top right corner of his shell looks great. The belt is not removable, unlike the original Turtles toys. And I love these wraps that they put on their feet. Even though they have 3 toes, I know a lot of fans are probably upset about the 3 toes, but if it helps them stand better, go for it. I think it looks pretty cool myself. He's got wraps on his hands, and this is the first Raphael figure where the sides go in the back of his belt instead of the front or off to the side. Raphael comes with a nice selection of accessories. First off, I just mentioned were his size. They are of a solid gray plastic, no paint apps, but Playmates had to cut costs somewhere, and if that's where they cut costs, that's fine. It's very reminiscent to the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys, which had no paint apps on the weapons as well. But they look really good. I really like the sculpt of these. I like the way they look in Raphael's hands, and it's just a fantastic accessory. Raphael also comes with a bunch of other accessories. What you're seeing here are what I would describe as half size, because that's basically what they are. They have the prong coming off of one side only. I like them, but they're just not something I would really display my Raphael with. Maybe as a battle damage Psy, if I was, putting him in some situation like that where maybe his size got broken and that's what he had, but otherwise, they're not something that I would preferably display Raphael with. The same with these weapons here. As great as these additions are, they're just not something I would display my figure with. They look really cool. They have what looks like to be a really sharp knuckle guard. They got those really nice hooks on the end, and they look like they're blades as well. But they just sit in my extra accessories box. I just don't see the need in these extra weapons. I think if we'd put the money into paint apps, it would have been a little bit better, but hey, this is still, we get a lot of accessories, so it's still pretty cool, and it's something that I know a lot of fans are really going to want. And of course, just like every other figure, he comes with ninja stars. Nothing really special about him, just your plain old ninja star. Now, the closest thing I have to an original vintage Raphael to compare him to is this rock and roll Raphael. He has zebra print pants, yellow boots, purple shirt, ninja star necklace, a microphone in his belt, and a really cool spiked dog collar on his neck. He's a pretty cool action figure, actually. I really like this variant of the turtle, but that's kind of the best you're really going to see for a comparison to the original toy. I still think he looks pretty cool next to him, and I really like my rock and roll Raphael anyway. Moving on, Here he is next to the 2003 Toddler Raphael. I do not have the original weapon for this, but the Toddler toys came in a 4-pack. They had wood weapons. Some of them had like soft things on the end of them, like the Donatello staff had like pillows on the end of his stick, and Leonardo's sword was a wooden sword, stuff like that, and it looked really neat. But sadly, I lost those accessories in my move from where I used to live to where I live now. Next up is Raphael next to the Night Watcher Raphael figure. Now this is probably my favorite Raphael figure ever. I just think he looks awesome. I love the motorcycle get up. I love the motorcycle itself. The sculpt is really great, and I think that's a really cool Raphael figure too. And here he is next to one of the best action figures I've ever laid eyes on. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Classics Raphael. Now this is what Raphael looked like in the cartoon, so this is what's really close to a vintage Raphael figure that I have as well. He looks really great, and we'll go into a review of that Raphael later on in the month, but that's the comparison to the other figures. Now here he is with all 4 of the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures. He looks really, really cool, and he's a figure that I think really stands out among the 4 of them. He has a darker skin tone, he's got a much tougher expression on his face, and I think he looks really great. I love these action figures. I cannot get over how awesome these toys are. I was so excited to hear that Ninja Turtles were coming back, and here they are. And now let's take a look at Raphael's articulation. His head moves in a full 360 degrees of motion. It nods up and down just a little bit, but that's okay because I really don't nod my figures' heads up and down that much anyway. He has wrist guard articulation, which moves all the way around. He has elbow articulation, which moves up and down. His arms are on ball and swivel joints, which move up, down, and all the way around. He has no waist articulation. He has knee joints as well. They're on a swivel and on a ball joint, so as you can see, I move them up and down. The legs move up and down, back and forth, and they swivel all the way around. And you can get some really neat poses out of Raphael. Here's a look at that ball joint at the knee as well. And that was it for my review of the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Raphael figure. My closing thoughts are that I think these turtle toys have really fantastic sculpts. I think they look really good. And it's really cool that they all have different sculpts. They're not all just rehashes of the same toy like other toy lines that we get nowadays. They are actually completely different figures, and I really like that. So, man, they're fantastic, and I hope that you guys get a chance to pick up the characters in the line. That's it. Thanks again for watching, and remember to follow me on Twitter at IHaveThePower82.